Most men believe the day begins when the sun rises and the world becomes loud again. They open their eyes slowly, stretch their bodies, and wait for comfort to release them from sleep. In their mind, waking up is a simple act, something ordinary that holds no meaning. But they fail to see that the most important battle of the day has already begun before the sun even touches the horizon. The moment a man opens his eyes, he stands at the edge of a quiet decision. The room is still, the air is calm, and the warmth of rest surrounds his body like a gentle trap. The mind whispers softly, suggesting that there is no urgency, that a few more moments of comfort will not change anything. It sounds harmless, almost kind, and because of that most men obey it without thinking. But understand this clearly, that whisper is the first opponent you face each day. Weakness rarely appears as something obvious. It does not arrive shouting or demanding attention. It enters quietly, offering small excuses, gentle delays, and comfortable justifications. Each time a man listens to it, he teaches his mind something dangerous, that comfort has authority over his actions. This is why the first moments of the morning carry such power. Before the world tests your discipline, before responsibilities and struggles appear, you are already given a choice. You can obey the voice of comfort, or you can rise and claim control over your own mind. Most men do not realize they are losing this battle every morning. They close their eyes again, turn to the other side of the bed, and tell themselves that tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow arrives with the same whisper, and once again comfort wins. Over time, this quiet surrender becomes a habit. A man who delays his first action of the day slowly trains his mind to delay everything else. He waits to feel motivated before he works. He waits to feel confident before he acts. He waits for the perfect moment that never truly arrives. This is how weakness spreads through a life without being noticed. The disciplined mind refuses this path. When the eyes open, the decision is immediate. The body may feel heavy, the mind may resist, but the will must speak before excuses gather strength. Rising from bed becomes more than a physical movement. It becomes a declaration that the mind commands the body, not the other way around. In that simple act, something powerful begins to grow. When a man rises immediately, even when comfort tries to hold him still, he proves to himself that action does not depend on feeling. He begins the day with authority instead of hesitation. The body may complain, but the will has already spoken. Many people believe motivation creates discipline, but the truth is the opposite. Discipline creates action even when motivation is absent. Feelings are unstable, they appear and disappear like clouds moving across the sky. If a man waits for the perfect feeling before he moves, his life will remain still for long periods of time. But the disciplined mind moves regardless of emotion. This lesson begins at dawn. The early hours of the morning hold a rare silence that most people never experience. The world has not yet begun to demand attention. No voices call for your focus, no distractions pull your thoughts in different directions. It is a moment where the mind can gather itself without interruption. Most people sleep through this silence. They wake only when the world becomes loud again, when messages arrive, when responsibilities demand action, when noise fills their mind before they even take their first breath of the day. Their thoughts scatter immediately and they begin the day reacting rather than leading. But the one who rises early steps into the day differently. When you stand up before the world awakens, you enter a space where the mind becomes clear. The air feels different. The quiet sharpens your awareness. You are not rushing to catch up with the day, you are preparing yourself to meet it with control. In this silence, discipline grows stronger. Each morning you defeat the small voice asking you to stay comfortable, you sharpen your will. Each morning you rise without negotiation, you remind yourself that your actions belong to you. These small victories accumulate. They do not look impressive to others. No one applauds a man for rising early. No audience watches him step into the quiet morning while the rest of the world sleeps, but that is precisely why this moment holds so much power. It is a victory earned entirely within the mind. Over time, these victories begin to shape your character. At first, the body resists waking early. The mind invents reasons to delay. It promises that today deserves rest and tomorrow will be better, but if you refuse to listen to these excuses day after day, something changes. The mind begins to understand that its complaints will not control your actions. The argument fades. Eventually, the moment your eyes open, you rise without hesitation. Discipline becomes part of your nature rather than something you struggle to maintain. You no longer depend on motivation to begin the day. And when this transformation happens, something else begins to disappear. Fear. Fear often grows in minds that feel uncertain about their own strength. When challenges appear, hesitation creates doubt. Doubt allows fear to enter quietly, but when a man trains his will every morning, he develops confidence in his ability to act despite discomfort. He has already practiced overcoming resistance before the day even begins. While others wake slowly, negotiating with comfort, he has already claimed control of his mind. While others wait for the right mood, he has already begun moving. The sun rises whether a man stays in bed or stands up to greet it. Time moves forward regardless of his decision, but the path he chooses in those first moments shapes the strength of his spirit. One path trains the mind to follow comfort. The other trains the mind to command itself. A man who wins the first battle of the day carries that victory into everything that follows. His thoughts become steadier, his actions more deliberate, his discipline harder to break. Because when he has already defeated weakness at dawn, the rest of the day will find him prepared. Win the battle before the sun rises, and the world will never control the direction of your mind. Most men spend their lives avoiding hardship. They look for the path that feels lighter, the task that demands less effort, the road where the body remains comfortable and the mind is never pushed too far. At first, this seems harmless. Comfort feels safe and safety feels like peace. But a mind that always runs from difficulty slowly becomes fragile. When true hardship finally appears, and it always does, that fragile mind begins to shake. The disciplined mind sees hardship differently. It does not wait for life to force struggle upon it. Instead, it chooses difficulty willingly. This choice is not made out of pride or a desire to suffer. It is made from understanding. When you deliberately step into challenge, the unknown becomes familiar. The mind stops fearing discomfort because it has walked beside it many times before. Cold mornings, long hours of effort, the weight of fatigue pressing against your body, these are not enemies. They are training grounds. Each time you continue moving while the mind asks you to stop, you sharpen something deeper than physical strength. You strengthen your ability to act when it is uncomfortable. Most people panic when life becomes hard because they have spent years protecting themselves from small struggles. Their spirit has never practiced endurance. But the one who trains through chosen hardship becomes calm where others feel overwhelmed. He knows the feeling of difficulty. He has walked through it many times. Because of this, struggle no longer feels like a threat. In time, hardship stops looking like pain and begins to look like preparation. Choose difficulty before life chooses it for you, and struggle will never again have the power to control your mind.